Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time. It affects our planet, our communities, and our future. But what exactly is climate change and why should we care? In this video, we will delve into the science behind climate change, explore its impacts on our world, and discuss what we can do to mitigate its effects. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and join us as we embark on this journey to understand one of the most pressing issues of our time. So, what is climate change? Climate change refers to the long-term alteration of the Earth's climate caused by human activities, primarily the emission of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, causing the planet to warm and leading to a range of environmental changes. The evidence for climate change is clear and undeniable. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC), the average global temperature has risen by about 1 degree Celsius since pre-industrial times. This may not sound like a lot, but it has already had a significant impact on our world. One of the most visible impacts of climate change is rising sea levels. As the planet warms, glaciers and ice caps melt, causing sea levels to rise. This poses a threat to coastal communities, as it increases the risk of coastal flooding and erosion. It also affects the millions of people who live near the ocean and depend on it for their livelihoods. Another impact of climate change is the increased frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires. These events can cause widespread damage to homes, businesses, and infrastructure, putting communities at risk and leading to economic losses. Climate change also has significant impacts on the natural world. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns are causing disruptions to ecosystems, leading to declines in biodiversity and the loss of critical habitats for plants and animals. This loss of biodiversity has consequences for the services that ecosystems provide, such as pollination, pest control, and water purification. So, what can we do to mitigate the effects of climate change? The good news is that there are many things we can do to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and limit the impacts of climate change. Individuals can make a difference by reducing their energy use and adopting sustainable practices, such as using public transportation or biking instead of driving, and using energy-efficient appliances and light bulbs. We can also reduce our carbon footprint by eating a more plant-based diet and reducing food waste. Governments and businesses also have a role to play. Governments can implement policies that promote the use of renewable energy and energy efficiency, and provide incentives for businesses to reduce emissions. Businesses can reduce emissions by improving energy efficiency in their operations and by sourcing renewable energy. They can also reduce emissions from their supply chains by working with suppliers to improve sustainability practices. Finally, it's important to support the development and implementation of new technologies that can help reduce emissions and limit the impacts of climate change. This could include developing new ways to store renewable energy, improving energy-efficient buildings, and reducing emissions from agriculture and livestock farming. In conclusion, climate change is a complex and pressing issue that requires action from all of us. By understanding its causes, impacts, and what we can do to mitigate its effects, we can work together to make Earth a better place.